your whole body mass facing across the course in the direction that you turn the ski to, because what that's going to do is going to really help you to get into a stronger position for now. Okay? You turned to pretty nicely, but you could feel as soon as you got to the wakes how that ski wanted to change direction. Okay? And that's because you turned to, ski turn, started coming to the wakes, but we never really turned the body enough to move this right shoulder enough to get it, you know, if you turn the torso and turn the body and you want the front side of the body to point across the wakes in the direction of the tip, so that the body and the ski have a target to aim for, and really you should be the same target. All right, so when you turn into position, you take the handle, and we get that upper body to turn a little bit further. Really what you're doing is placing this back shoulder into position where you're placing it over here where it's to the right side of your front foot. Now you've got some resistance in being able to hold that position as the pull increases into the wake. If you don't move that right shoulder, the ski will turn, you'll get towards the wakes, and then that right shoulder ends up being directly over the top of your front foot, and you're actually more vulnerable there.
Yeah, I was getting the sensation of falling forward.
Yeah, and that's because the shoulder is directly over the top of the foot rather than slightly to the side, which puts you in a, you know, that's a lean without you having to think about making this big leverage lean away from the boat. Right. Just the turn to face across the course will put you in a stronger position. Alright, and then also, when your ski turns to go left on that offside, we want to get that left shoulder. Let's aim to get that left shoulder 6 inches further away from the boat than what your front foot is.
Okay.
So think about that. If you could take a plumb line directly down to the water from above, okay? Right now your left shoulder is probably only 4 or 5 inches further away from the ski pylon than what your right foot was. And realistically we should be,
here we go,
18 inches.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So did you feel like you were a little twisted when you were going left?
Yeah.
And that's because that shoulder's here, and very much the same as what I was telling Anthony about. As he turns, you want to turn, because we want to turn and aim for that target and take that body mass towards that target. If you do that like that, then it just places this shoulder just that little bit further away from the boat, and automatically you turn into a stronger position because you got more angle of body lean.
Okay.
It's what we don't want to be doing is turning, taking the handle, and then just trying to lean harder.
Right.
That's a lot harder work. There's more tension, there's more fight between you and the boat. But if we actually turn and think about taking this to the same target as where the ski's pointing, you actually turn into a stronger position, and all we do is swing past the back of the boat. There's no need to actually go rah after you've taken the handle, because you're already in a lead. Because you're left foot forward, Anthony, and you do this, a lot of people do this without realizing, you don't just put your left foot in front. You do this. You stand with the whole left side of your body facing forward. Even sitting in the water, if you had a steel rod sticking out of your chest, it's pointing at the tower rather than towards the tip of your ski. So you can see how you're not neutral, as in your right hip should not be any further away from the boat than what your left hip is if we're neutral. You know, our hips want to be directly perpendicular to the ski, and we're not. Your hips are kind of like 45 degrees. Okay, so you pull out to the left side of the boat and you're 10 feet outside the buoy line, but the front side of your body is pointing back towards the boat. So actually, obviously the pull's from the right side, and that puts your hands, elbow, shoulder down a little bit. When you stood there, you end up standing more heavily weighted over that right edge of the ski than the left edge. Okay, so as soon as you start to lose speed, that bites in the water, wants to draw you back towards the wave. Even though you're trying to go straight, you come back in behind the boat.
So should I try to keep a little pressure?
No, try and neutral yourself up in the fact that when you're riding your ski, when you pull to go left, which is your onside lean, I want to see your right hip a little closer to your left hand and this left shoulder a little further around. So whilst even when we're in the pulling phase, okay, we want to have the body mass following the line of the ski so that we wanted to roll into this lean to go right and the ski hadn't come through and locked in between you and the boat.
I didn't let it finish.
You didn't let it finish, but you couldn't let it finish. Your body mass wanted to take you right way before the ski could actually place itself. So why did it all want to fall right so quickly, so soon? Because it was you allowed it to face that way too soon also. If it's facing already that way too much in the pull going that way, as soon as you roll the ski over, you're already facing that way. So it wants to draw the upper body and you into a lean to go that way before the ski's got time to arc through that turn and place back between you and the boat and allowing you to get into a strong position. Okay? The more you can get this to rotate around to be facing this way whilst you're in your pull, you'll have a lot more momentum that allows you to go through an edge change, and everything, your body, upper body mass as well as your ski, are aiming out to the same apex. And the upper body mass will create as much momentum as your ski will have. So what's happening right now is your ski's arcing out to this apex, but the upper body's not got the same amount of momentum to keep going in that direction, and it wants to all of a sudden roll back in the other direction. Okay, and that's what we got going. When you turn in, okay, your goal is to not only find that angle with your ski, but it's to find that angle with body mass so that everything accelerates to that same target. Also, it's to turn into a position that's going to allow you to not only pick a direction, but to maintain it through edge change.
Right.
Okay? And to be able to maintain it through edge change means kind of really locking into a position.
Okay.
Alright? So as you turn in to take the handle, and our ski turns and goes right, we want to turn the hips and the torso enough to get to head in that direction. Your left knee should be also driving in that direction so that it fits into place behind your front knee.
Okay. Was it hanging out a little bit? Yeah.
A lot. Notice that on video?
Yeah.
That's because you don't really, I mean, the more you think about,
I'm not turning the hip.
you're not turning the hips.
Okay.
Yeah. That left hip stays back here somewhere, which keeps, obviously the bottom of the torso on that side is a fair bit of your weight. That stays over that back foot. Tip of the ski stays high and the body stays facing inside. So as soon as you go to roll onto that edge, there's a change in direction at the same time as changing edges. And there's a loss of time because of that. Loss of space in the course. But you'll see it on the video, but the reason, again, why you're getting this separation is also because this shoulder is high. In relation to this one, it's high. Okay? At the point of where we want our feet to move, this should be set at that target. Now, in your acceleration phase, on the downward swing of the pendulum towards that target, you know, we're trying to turn ourselves into a position where we've got a lean, okay? If we've got a lean with a certain amount of body angle lean, yeah? And if we're leaning in that direction and we're really trying to get that body mass to also pick up that target as well, realistically, this right shoulder should be a little lower than the left one, than the inside shoulder. And you'll see that even these guys who talk about skiing open to the boat, they might be a little bit more open, but they're certainly not like that. There's a difference between being, you can ski open, but your shoulders have to be level for your body mass to keep maintaining direction. Okay? If that shoulder is high, look what happens to your arms. Yeah? If that shoulder stays down, the arms stay low, the arm stays connected, and then the lower body will move. You don't get that lower body swing if there's no contact here, if there's all this space between arms and jacket, okay? Real low and tight here, get your feet to move more quickly down there.